Okay, let's dive into a pretty wild thought experiment today. What if the Earth, just stopped spinning?
It ends like pure sci-fi, and it mostly is, but thinking it through, like our source material does, really shows how much relies on that constant motion.
Exactly. It's fundamental. So our mission here is to unpack what the source says would actually happen, the biggest, maybe most surprising consequences.
Right, to get a real sense of why that spin matters so much.
So first things first, the immediate chaos. We're spinning really fast, especially at the equator, aren't we? Over 1,000 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's right, over 1,600 kilometers an hour. It's incredibly fast, even though we don't feel it.
So if that just stops, what happens in that first second?
Well, imagine everything that isn't physically fused to the deep bedrock buildings, cars, trees, people, us.
Oh, wow.
We'd all maintain that incredible eastward momentum. We'd essentially be launched eastward at hundreds of miles per hour.
Like being hit by an invisible wrecking ball, the source kind of puts it.
Exactly that. And think about the oceans. All that water still moving east. You're talking about global mega-tsunamis, just unimaginable surges washing over continents.
And the air, the atmosphere.
The atmosphere would still be spinning too initially, so you'd have wind speeds far beyond any hurricane we've ever seen, scouring the surface clean.
Yeah.
Just tearing everything apart.
Okay, so immediate total devastation. Got it. Now, the Earth isn't a perfect sphere, right? It bulges a bit at the equator because of the spin.
That's right, the centrifugal force causes that bulge. It's slight, but it's there.
So if the spin stops, what happens to that shape? And, to gravity?
Well, without that outward centrifugal force counteracting gravity slightly at the equator, gravity would become the sole force shaping the planet more strongly there. The bulge would relax, the oceans would redistribute, likely flooding areas near the poles and retreating massively from the equator, and the planet itself would slowly settle into a more perfect sphere. And interestingly, because you're losing that outward fling at the equator, the net gravitational pull there would actually increase slightly. You'd weigh just a tiny bit more.
Bizarre. Gaining weight during the apocalypse. But beyond the shape, our day-night cycle, that's gone, isn't it?
Completely gone. The Earth would still orbit the sun, presumably, but it wouldn't rotate daily. So one side would face the sun for, well, months at a time.
Constant daylight and heat.
Extreme, scorching heat, while the other side faces away, plunged into months of continuous freezing darkness.
The source called it a slow rotisserie of doom.
Which is a pretty vivid and frankly terrifying way to put it, yeah.
Definitely paints a picture. Okay, so the spin also drives our weather systems, the winds, the ocean currents.
Fundamentally, yeah. Earth's rotation drives atmospheric circulation patterns, the jet streams, massive ocean currents like the Gulf Stream that move heat around the planet.
So no spin means...
Those systems just break down. The jet streams would likely vanish, ocean currents would grind to a halt. You'd probably get some chaotic wind patterns at the Terminator, the line between day and night, but the large-scale circulation we rely on, gone.
And the climate effect of that breakdown?
Catastrophic doesn't really cover it. You'd have lethal temperatures on the sun-facing side, plummeting temperatures on the dark side. It's hard to see how complex life, ecosystems, agriculture, how any of it could survive that kind of extreme swing. We'd be looking at mass extinction events.
Right, this sounds absolutely terrible. How worried should we actually be? Is this even remotely possible?
Well, our source is pretty clear on this. A sudden complete stop like we've been discussing is astronomically unlikely. It's not something physics allows for easily.
But the Earth is slowing down, isn't it? Very gradually.
It is, yeah. The moon's gravity exerts a tiny drag, slowing the rotation by about 1.7 milliseconds per century.
Yeah.
But that's incredibly slow to get a full stop, especially a sudden one.
You'd need something huge.
Exactly. You'd need an immense, almost unimaginable external force, like a collision with another planet-sized object, maybe.
The source mentions things like rogue planets or maybe, super advanced alien weapons as theoretical ways it could happen?
Theoretical in the extreme, yes. Pure science fiction territory, really.
Okay, good. So not something for the immediate worry list.
Definitely not. But the whole thought experiment, as dramatic as it is, really highlights how incredibly important that constant silent spin is. It shapes almost everything about our planet's environment.
So wrapping up this deep dive, the source makes it clear that if the Earth stopped spinning, the consequences would be immediate and profound. Being flung eastward, continent drowning tsunamis, the planet changing shape, endless day and night, and a total climate collapse.
It's a stark reminder of the delicate balance of forces that make Earth habitable. That constant rotation is just crucial.
Absolutely. So maybe as you go about your day to day, just take a second to, well, appreciate the spin, that invisible force keeping everything stable. And perhaps think about what other unseen forces are quietly shaping our existence. Something to ponder until our next deep dive.